Good morning, everyone. Good day, whatever time it is. This is Michael Barden. I am a targeted individual, and I have been documenting the standard operating procedures and tactics of organized stalking and harassment that is carried out in compartmentalized groups, I believe, throughout our federal government and uh, carries over into organized crime, which is what our government had become. It's getting cleaned out right now. But I always wanted to. When I was in the Air Force, I requested to be in combat cam. I don't know how many times. I'd always ask my boss, "Hey man, I want to go do some combat cam. How do I go to that training? How do I get into? I want to go document. What's going on in the war." And sometimes they say, be careful what you wish for. You just may get it. Because that's what I'm doing now. Only I don't have a uniform or a paycheck anymore. But because of the person I am, I stick to things that I swear to. Like when I raised my right hand and I swore to protect the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. So that's what I'm doing. I I always thought that if I was going to be doing combat cam, I'd be in full battle rattle. That's all your gear, and I'd be in the desert. Well, I am in the desert in a tent. Well, I could be in a tent not long from now. Okay, a lot of this is be similar. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm documenting these tactics of this psyop, and in a psyop, in this type of psyop, when you're a targeted individual, they will literally strategize organized skits, street theater, direct conversation, different things like that to get your reaction to sound crazy. And if you've never, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you're most likely going to, and you should question this, and then you should keep researching, and then, I mean, just look at the abnormalities, and just listen to what I talk about. Going to talk about color sensitization, timing, and repetition. Uh, that and what these people do, they don't. And I say these people don't know exactly who it is, but like I said, compartmentalized groups throughout our government, intel agencies that are using mass surveillance to the point. If you are a targeted individual, you know what kind of technology is out there. I'm not telling you anything new. You know, and you're in the same position I am. You try to explain what is possible, and people just can't take it. You know. So here I am documenting this. I'm just going to go ahead and start here. So there's usually uh, they want you to be completely frustrated and antagonized by the time you get to your destination when you leave your house. So when you get in front of the person that you are going to deal with, you're already worked up, your heart rate's going, you're flustered, you've been sensitized, you've been triggered to different incidents in your life, stuff like that. And it's intentional. It's not just that you're some post traumatic stress case that is focusing on every single detail that in just normal life and you're having a tough time. It's not. It's an intentional standard operating procedure for a psychological operation to get you to either act out in aggression. Uh, yeah, anyway, I've gone over that a million times. So I'm just going to go through the process of um, what I go through when I go to the post office. And now remember, this is, or just when I go somewhere. This is one day. I've been documenting this since November of 2017. It's been going on in my life for, oh, there's two parts that I've been through. So there's been things that have gone on since I was a child, and then I believe I was targeted additionally. Well, the first thing, I don't know if I would call it targeting. It's similar. And I was targeted, I believe, either as I entered the military or right after I got in the military. I'm not 100% sure. They don't give you a letter saying this is the date. Hopefully, I'll be able to see that someday. So I've been documenting this stuff for just almost a couple of years now. So in order to get this, to understand it, I mean, you'll see some abnormalities, and if you have half a brain, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying here. But you also have to go back and show a history, kind of like what these people do to a targeted individual. They try to set them up over and over and over and over and over again and show a history. Only it's a false history, um, because a lot of it, I believe, is just on paper or reports. Written reports. We know how written reports come out. If you listen to the media at all and find out the real news, you can't just believe that. You need video documentation. So I'll be quiet and go ahead and go here now. So as I'm leaving my house, they start the color sensitization. Now, as soon as I go out, the neighborhood will be completely calm, quiet. I'll be sitting in the front room with my door open, and it'll be nice and calm. And as soon as I go out, all kinds of traffic will start coming around, and garage doors start opening up. Like they get the alert on their phone, hey, he's coming out. And say everybody in the neighborhood gets their alert on their phone. I head out, and they all start doing their thing. So I was just watching some videos about, actually, with Amazing Polly, and she was talking about a Sikh gentleman that was running for some kind of political office in their country, and I don't remember the entire story, but it didn't seem like he was that great of a guy, and I was kind of surprised because when I worked at the airport in Fresno, there were a lot of taxi drivers that were Sikh, and I was a skycap where I checked in bags, carried bags to the airplane, carried people onto airplanes, and what they call it air chair, stuff like that. And so I had all access to the airport. I was everywhere, and these guys would be sitting there waiting for a pickup, whatever, and we'd be bored in between flights. We'd talk to these guys. I can't remember one of the guys that were Sikh that I got like a bad feeling from, or uh, anything. I learned that their history, they're warriors. Most of them are noble. Uh, most of them have a lot of courage, and they seem to be pretty good people in general. Now, these people that live right here on the
So I was just
on
watching
here.
some videos and he laughed. So let me get my camera. So there's this Sikh guy with an orange turban, just standing in the garage staring at me when I came out. Just standing there staring. So I just thought I'd get a little video of him. I've never seen anybody wearing a Sikh headdress over here. And I respect the Sikh people.
Yeah, I've lived here for over 4 years now, and these neighbors have lived here the entire time. I've never once seen. I would have noticed something. I would have noticed. Now this guy, orange is one of the colors that they say. I mean, these all. Let's see. White, red, black, bright blue, orange, and yellows seem to be the most common that I get sensitized with. So today was orange, white, and red. I know this sounds nuts, right? I'm not the one that designed the program. I'm the one documenting the what they're doing. So keep that in mind. Don't shoot the messenger.
This fuck. But all the ones that I've met in Fresno, it seemed like not this fuck.
Not this Sikh fuck. I'm sorry if some of you don't like my language. Just part of my vocabulary. Just pay attention to the information, please.
I've never seen anybody wearing a Sikh headdress over here. And I respect the Sikh people. Not this fuck. But all the ones that I've met in Fresno, they seemed like honorable warriors, actually, with pride. No one with pride would would be a gang stalker, take part in psychological stuff. Yeah, you're just sitting there, you're just standing there. Can't see this garage. Just hanging out. Just striped shirt on.
So a lot of times these folks will wear a striped shirt to uh, signal they are in jail. They're chained.
Anybody? You know, hide. There you go.
All right, so notice the orange head dress. All right, now here we are. Left the neighborhood, got out of the neighborhood, down the street. Not too much going on. And then a lot of times, if I'm not getting any street theater, auto mobbing, anything, right away from my house, I'll be like, "Oh, right, that's cool." Just kind of normal traffic right now. Appreciate that. And then I get to the corner where the of Western, where the police department is, and then it's just like somebody hits the bell and the circus goes off. So a lot of times they'll have somebody. So this is a 25 mile per hour speed limit right here. These people were going like 15, and they keep hitting their brakes in front of me. All right, notice the right as I pass the white and red car. Timing is impeccable. This is like Cirque du Soleil. It's it's impressive that they came up with these tactics, but I don't like them using them on me. This has been such a waste of time, money, effort, energy. What's the point? So,
All right, so we're going 15 and 25 right now. This usually happens right here, and they like to hit their brakes. Just keep hitting their brakes. Piss me off. 15. And watch how they make their turn. They don't go over to the right at all. They stay right in front of you. And then they got the red and white car behind me right now.
so that's how they will signal me that they're going to do something either irritating, antagonizing, dangerous, street theater, whatever. Whenever they introduce one of these little skits or just one of the small things that is going to impede your progress or get you to try to sound crazy, when you're explaining it, they'll signal you. I mean, it's like cult signaling. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. So there's the red and white car right behind me, and that blue car was right in front of me, tapping on his brakes for no reason. Right. So there's my little signal. Hey, we're behind you. There's your thing.
Front of the, there you go. And then so we're right here in front of the Avondale Police Department. And usually when I start getting the harassment, it's right around this area right here. Right when I get down to this corner right here, where I'm pointing, and right through this area, right in front of the Avondale Police Department, where I stayed one night when these guys set me up to arrest me. When I see these guys, Russell Roberts and his group.
All right, now, okay, when I say these guys, I don't think the entire Avondale Police Department is in on this kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. But it could be 4 or 5 people that were, they make sure they all get on shift, or they're all in the same shift. That's how it was in my fire department. It seemed like there was one shift that all the guys pretty much took part. Because I moved back and forth on shifts. So anyway, when I see these guys, I'm not calling out the entire Avondale Police Department, just the ones that were involved in being complicit with setting me up with Russell Roberts. That used the street theater direct conversation on me. So now this red car, a lot of times when I'm going down the street, they'll just back out without looking, and you have to slam on your brakes. So I pulled over, started filming, and this guy was like, "Yeah, this guy's filming. I'm going to go ahead and probably leave in my red car."
Red car pulling out. Okay. They were waiting for it. They were going to back out as I was going down the street. And
this car's like a burgundy maroon, then a white car.
All right.
Now wait a minute. Is it just me, or is the exact same car that was just in front of me tapping on his brakes at 15 miles an hour in a 25 in front of me again after I pulled over and filmed? I don't know, that car just happens to be in front of me again. It's the exact same car, same license plate. Toyota, light blue. White car, red car. White car, red car.
So here's this either the same blue car or really similar blue car in front of me here. Okay.
Notice at the intersection, got the
All right,
guys.
and at the intersection, again, folks, how many times do I have to record this?
White car, red car. And I have these guys, two guys in red shirts, running across the street. And then I watch this guy. Okay. Watch this guy right here. It's like 90 degrees. We're in Arizona. He's got like a fleece sweatshirt. Watch what he does with it when they realize I'm filming. Try to cover his head. Why would somebody put a jacket on their head when it's 90 degrees in Arizona? I mean, shade? Yeah. But timing, right? You know? Okay. Yeah, these people just. We're not in New York. We're not in LA traffic. There's no gridlock. There's no reason to just be honking. Right? Unless you're just having fun, like I did up here. But what I'm saying is, there's no reason for these people to be doing this. I had a reason. Actually, this guy that was driving next to me, they're like, they keep pace with you. It's usually like a worker kind of truck, and they'll keep pace with you right next to you. Or they'll try to speed up and get you to speed up with them, and then there'll be a cop up on the left, and then you get a ticket. They won't pull that guy over, they'll pull you over. It's trolling. Seen it on the freeway. So red car over here, pulling in. I mean,
check out this guy. We're doing about 30. And the okay.
so he was going real fast, and he slowed down, and he kept perfect pace. He's just like got his window down. He's directly right next to me, and then when I speed up, he stays exactly right with me the entire time here. So I gave him a shave and a haircut. All right. Notice as I come in the driveway here. Remember the guy with the orange headdress? Color sensitization. So it irritated me a little bit that this person got some kind of notification and they're supposed to just go out to their front to make a presence. Because I know how this program works. It's not like a person walks out of their garage and because of that one moment, that one instant, you're just gonna lose your shit. This is from repetition, over and over and over and over again, and them signaling to you that they know what you're watching on your computer. That's exactly what was going on. I'm watching Amazing Polly. I watched this story about this Sikh politician. The next day, this guy comes out with his headdress on in a house. I've never, not one time, seen anybody at that house with a headdress. Okay, so I'm gonna just go off on a tangent here real quick. This, people, is why all of these people like Bill Binney, Edward Snowden, just the whole list, going all the way down to whistleblowers talking about illegal surveillance. This is why our privacy is so important, because they can use your information to manipulate you and harass you and target you. Know where you're going at all times through GPS on your phone, your ISP and your computer, whatever, however they do it. I'm not a computer genius. I don't know how they do it. No, they get access through the NSA or through some kind of, Patriot Act law that completely ripped our rights away. So, anyway, guy with the orange, I don't know, it's not a turban. What do you call that? What do you call that? Anyway, orange. And now, as I pull in, and they want to make sure they have their door open, so there's something that will get your attention to let you know that they're one of them. So, orange car opening the door at the moment I pull in the driveway. They do it at perfect timing, right? And then we have this person in the orange shirt here. She's hanging out. So we got orange headdress, orange car, orange shirt, and they're just lurking in the parking lot when you get there. They don't seem to have like a purpose that they're doing anything.
Got the handicapped folks, and they're just gonna be sitting there and wait till I go and watch the army sticker on.
There goes that Toyota again. So it's the third time I saw him. Pretty irritating, right? You know that person is just hit the brakes in front of you because they know that you're the target, and then you just happen to see. You might not even notice that you see him, and subconsciously it just triggers you a little bit, like stalker. All right, so see how that car is backing out at the exact same time I'm going in. Now I don't own the world. I don't own the parking lot. I don't expect that the entire world look out for me. What I expect is to not be harassed with perfect timing. So a lot of times I'll get my bags and there'll be nobody moving in the parking lot. I'll grab them, I'll turn around, and there's a car, real quiet car, just happen to back out, and they're coming at me, and they stomp on their brakes like they're gonna hit me. And then I'm like, oh wow, I'm glad they didn't hit me. And then they say this truck on the left, they usually fire it up, got loud exhaust. I guarantee this Dodge is loud. Fire it up, and then start backing towards you. Now this lady saw it was filming, so she decided to abort, abort, abort.
This lady's just lurking.
Yeah, that's right. It did have loud exhaust.
She decided to leave.
I love loud exhaust. It sounds great. It's just this nonsense they do with those. Now, when you are a targeted individual and you're being gang stalked, something they do to you is called same time entry and exit. So you can never go in a door or out a door without somebody meeting you at the door, to where you have to either open it for them or they open it for you, and they'll stop and stutter and act like, oh, I don't know what to do. And imagine everywhere you go, you haven't been able to walk in a door by yourself in years. Imagine how irritating that would get. So I just keep going along with it, and
She was just getting out of her truck when she got here, and then I was filming. She decided to get back in and go. So what they like to do is wait till you start walking in, and they go ahead and then they start backing out.
That's something that's kind of redundant. I forget what I say during the videos. My bad. Oh, hey, since this is pointing at this camera right here, this is one thing I noticed. This is the only camera in the front of the facility, and it's facing almost out to the street. Now, if it's a 180-degree fisheye lens, the skateboarding world, we call it the death lens. It's getting this whole parking lot. But if it's not catching any of this, and it wouldn't be able to be requested through FOIA. So, or wouldn't even be, if it got subpoenaed, you wouldn't be able to see what's going on in the parking lot. So there needs to be some oversight in these places. I'd like to be one of those people that do that, to make sure that these people aren't hiding this nonsense behind little loopholes, like aiming the camera in the wrong direction.
No? Oh, I got the camera on. You're not gonna do it. Hey, buddy. Whoa. Hey, did you see me filming you on the way by? Did you see me down there filming you?
Yeah.
I was filming everybody going by. I'm doing some documenting. You wait till you see this on the news. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it has to do with the FISA court. You heard it?
When I say see this on the news, you folks are going to see a bunch of stuff being declassified about the FISA court, about Donald Trump, and as he said, much, much more. And he's keeping it light. He doesn't. I don't think he's going to declassify quite a bit, I believe, and we're on the offense now. So
Yeah, check out my website. It's barden.us, BARREDIN.us.
Okay.
You know exactly why I'm filming, not you in particular, but just patterns and things like that going around here. Yeah, this would be a great lawsuit.
yes, I plan to be indemnified someday. It's hard to indemnify a person when you don't know how much has actually been taken from them when they've just been slowed down. You can't. It's hard to come up with a number, but basically, I'd just like to. I'd like for them to cease and desist. Not cease and assist, cease and desist. And I would like, not even a ridiculous amount of money, just enough to where I don't have to. I said the other day, so I don't ever have to work again a day in my life, but I don't want to not work the rest of my life. I want to do something productive that, that I enjoy without being sabotaged and harassed. So this is the same time entry and exit. Somebody always meets you right at the door. So I just took advantage of it this time since I got the box in my hand. I can open the door with these bags, no big deal, but
I'm going to go ahead and let you open that for me if you don't mind.
I'm going to do that.
Thank you so much. That's perfect timing, too. I appreciate it.
It's always good when that works out that way, right?
did you hear how she said that? Always good when it works out that way, right? They'd like to let you know they're fucking with you.
Not always. Not always. There's a...
Did you see this lady's... What is... She is really... got her eye messed up. What is... She looks like a Fed, doesn't she? Where's your FBI badge? Look at her. She has got her eye on me. Lots of attention. Looking me up and down. Checking out these packages. All right.
Not always. There's a... You don't want any. Yeah, I know you don't.
You hear that? That's how I get greeted when I go in there. And he's not joking around. I've had so many issues. I filed a formal complaint against the guy. I tried to. The head manager probably filed it in the trash. But I filed a formal complaint against this guy, Brian. I have had many interactions with him. I've yelled at him. Told him to leave me alone and stop messing with me. So at that point, Brian, federal postal office worker, that's when you don't joke around with customers when they filed a formal complaint against you and they have had several negative interactions with you where it's just probably best to be professional instead of like, well, you don't want any. And notice how he repeats himself. He wants to repeat himself. He's bad at this. There's some people that are really good at this, and they're covert and they are subtle. This guy sucks at it. On a scale of 1 to 10, with street theater directed conversation that I've dealt with, this guy gets like a 2.
Always. There's a... You don't want any. Yeah, I know you don't. What the heck? You're not going to have to worry about it too much longer, buddy.
You don't want any.
I know, you guys don't like to work.
Yeah, and then I
Did you...
start dumping them in here. And
should we probably take a few of those crates out of there so they'll all fit?
So they'll just do little things to make it completely... If these people ran a business the way they did, they would go out of business immediately. Like a real business where they didn't get federal funding, go out of business immediately. So all this is, there's a bin in this place. I've already talked about this, and people that are listening to my story over and over, I repeat things, but I have to document this. So There's a big bin in here. They didn't used to have one before I came in here and started delivering 5-6 thousand items a year. They they started that after I moved here and started delivering stuff to the post office. So now what they do, they put these smaller bins upside down in there, and then four more on top of them. So I can't my packet like 10 of my packages will fit in there, and then it'll just overflow. So um, I have to just sit them on the counter and leave them there on the counter where somebody can come in and grab one. I mean, I know there's a video in there, but you think these people are going to comply with like giving some video out or what, or I just don't feel secure with leaving them on the counter. I'd rather put them in the bucket so they can just roll it back there and check them in. And that's all they would have to do. It would literally take 5 seconds for this guy to grab those little things out of the bin and let me dump them all in there so I could go on my way and do the rest of what I need to do during the day. But what he's telling me is, no, we're going to go ahead and sit here and I'm going to scan each one in individually while you're here and make you wait. It's going to take like 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm going to sit here and gaslight you and use directed conversation and act like I'm not while I'm scanning these in. So I don't want to do that. I have shit to do, man. Brian, okay? And now I'm not crapping on every single postal employee. Um, but these people at this place, uh, there's one girl in here that nah, actually, she's done it too. She likes to remind me of my wife every time I go in. Hey, where's your wife? I've told you 20 fucking times. We got divorced. She was a honey trap. It's probably like a Nexium slave. Scientology slave. CIA honey trap. One of those. One of those. But I've explained that to her. And then she stops listening. And the next time, hey, where's your wife?
Dump the whole thing in there.
Yeah, and then
Did you?
and start dumping them in here. And
Should we probably take a few of those crates out of there so they'll all fit? Because I can just dump the whole thing in there.
I'm just gonna start scanning them and start putting them into a cage anyway. Yeah.
This is what they like to do. Here, do they even call the thing they put it in a cage? So now some of you folks know that I am fighting a setup and I'm facing 5 years mandatory minimum sentence to 15 years if they drop a plea deal and I fight this in court. The plea deal would make me a felon. Go back to my videos, watch my videos about that. I was set up after reporting some things they didn't want me to report. So they like to keep saying every time, not every time I go in there, but a lot, usually with perfect timing, as I am going through this court stuff, they want to talk about putting them into a cage, putting it in, and they don't just say it once, they have to keep repeating it, all right?
I'm gonna start scanning them and start putting them into a cage anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna transfer it to a cage. No worries.
Like, you see that? You put them in a cage, no worries. This guy's name is Brian. He is a psychopath. We have psychopaths working in our United States Postal Service. You guys have seen that. If you've watched any of the auditor videos and people go out and try to exercise their First Amendment rights and film in public, you've seen some of these post office workers pretty much almost go postal. If these guys carried guns, there'd be dead people everywhere.
So folks, what he's doing right now is called directed conversation. Trying to tell me I'm going to go into a cage. This is funny, and he's going to look at me like I'm an idiot. But the thing is, he's the idiot because he doesn't research anything I try to tell these people. I don't understand how many indictments are going out for organized stalking and harassment. I enjoy it now. There's people watching me.
Yeah, when I say there's people watching me, yeah, these guys are still watching me, but there's other people watching me too. And I get covert messages from both sides now. Imagine that. So that's why my spirits have been up a little bit, feeling a little bit better about this. And part of the reason too, I'm going to go ahead and fight this in court. Well, other than the fact that I'm innocent and that I would like to see the real outcome of this. And I'm not going to be intimidated or pushed around and threatened into doing something that I know isn't right.
Do your homework, buddy. And also, The post office is investigating you guys for messing with my packages. So I hope you have a good time with that. All right? Jerry.
All right. So did you hear that lady in the back right when I said that? Now I listened to Citizens Investigation Investigative Report. Uh, she's got that exact same laugh. It sounds just like her actually, but the timing. So they sit there and wait for you to say something that I believe this post office is being investigated. I believe Goodyear post office is being investigated, and if not by the federal government, which I'm almost positive these guys are being investigated, they're being investigated by anons, people that have seen this. They're disseminating this information, and they're not going to let stuff like this keep going on. So when I say the gang stalkers aren't the only watchers, there's people out there that are watching, that are keeping metadata. They're keeping tracks of keeping track of dots, connecting dots.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Messing-
You're really good at having a stupid look on your face. You're really good at that. Make sure every one of these get there. As soon as my friend got arrested over here at Goodyear for filming legally, and you guys called the police on him. Yeah. You're getting investigated by the feds.
Okay.
You think you're the feds. Keep doing what you're doing.
These guys, seriously, they have the most. They're so arrogant. They're so arrogant. They think they are invincible, and they can just do this to you, and that you're not going to say anything. You're just going to take it. And I guess they're just told, hey, you have to do this in your job, or it's part of your cult ritual thing that you belong to. It's gonna come full circle here real soon.
Time with it.
And then the address on that.
Do your homework. You don't like the truth when people talk to you straight up, do you?
Yeah, he walked away. He just walked to the back.
All right, just make it a quick video.
All right, so I made it home, and then later that night, just went out to the front. And just watch.
Here, real quick video, real quick. Yeah, we've done it. So, see these two cars right here? Red, white, and then you've got a red truck there. Nah, it's too dark. Red truck there, white car there, and then you got people hanging out here down the street. Oh, they went in, I guess. I don't want to be on camera. So that's my next door neighbors. That's people. Yeah, I won't go into that story right now. Then these next door neighbors usually have their red and white car parked right in the driveway. There's a red car right over there. And you can't see really down here too much, but there's a white and red. Yeah, you can see that right there. White and red car sitting there together. They're always in pairs. And these people, of course, just pulled in. The second I walked out here, I swear it's like they park in a garage. Oh, this girl just sitting in her car. Yeah, I got distracted when I said swear it's like they park in a garage. Yeah, obviously she just parked in a garage. What I'm saying, it's like sometimes when I leave or when I come out, it's like they're just parked in it down the street, just sitting in their car or something, and then they're perfectly quiet, and all of a sudden, here comes a car, and everybody's pulling in and out of their garages and like coming out and doing like starting weed whackers, leaf blowers, running by on dogs, bicycles, all kinds of stuff. I'll go back in, I'll look out the window, there's nothing going on. There's not one person anywhere. Go back out a little bit later, and all of a sudden, circus fires up again. Just hanging out. I guess people just sit out in their car in the road and
Never seen that car before in my life.
hang out. Take off and you come out and start filming. Just documenting, that's it. Because usually when I'm driving, when a red and white car passed me at the intersection, something.
You see this car pulling out down here? That's at the very end. That guy drives like an old blue truck. I think that's the only vehicle that they have unless, let's see, yeah, that's at the very end of the street. I'm pretty sure it's that guy's house. Unless it's the like the main, I call them the main handlers down here. They drive like red BMW, like white Mercedes, I think, or white BMW, bunch of Beamers, and they've got security cameras all the way around their house. And they had uh, they had like murder tape around the front of their house a few years ago. I was taking my daughter to school, pulled out, and I saw this caution tape down here blocking off, actually not blocking off the street, but blocking off their yard. And they were doing some kind of investigation uh, in front of this place, the handler's house. And I drove down that way, and there was a detective standing over here, and a couple of cops and stuff like that. And they looked really surprised that I pulled up. And I said, "Hey, everybody alive in there?" And he looked at me like he just his eyes opened real wide, like what the heck? Uh, and he was like, I think he said I can't say anything, or it's under investigation, or something like that. And so I said, okay, well, is the neighborhood safe? Is the scene safe? And he said, yeah. Oh, I said, okay, have a good day, officer. Thanks. I have no idea what that was. Didn't see anything in the news. It could have been a suicide, but it was just weird. It might have been just some street theater.
Ridiculous happens right after that. Oh, here we go. These guys got the messengers out here, and they can turn on their LEDs and just cruise on down this way, I guess. Make sure that they do a little drive-by.
Now, these LEDs are pretty annoying. They're real bright. They're irritating to your eyes. And sometimes when you just head out for a little bit at night, they have like 50 of these cars on your way, and they're just all like aiming their car at you, and just it's ridiculous. It's irritating by the time you get to where you're going. For anyone, people have heard Myron May talk about the brighting. That was one of the things that really bothered him. Uh, if you don't know who Myron May is, look him up. I'm not saying his name to project or signal or anything like that. I'm just saying he's one of the people that couldn't take it anymore. Uh, but I have a friend that I talked to in LA, and she says that they're using these LED lights, and some of the things I talk about are probably almost impossible for some people to comprehend or understand, and then later some, some media comes out and says like, "Hey, look at this thing that's been happening." And I'm like, "Holy shit, they were right." So, but my friend says that they're using the LED lights with, oh god, oh, I'm having one of these cognitive blocks right now. Oh, fiber optics. So basically, the theory is that if they put fiber optics, like a thin coating of fiber optics on something like a vehicle or a wall, or even I've heard they put them on plants, on trees and stuff like that, somehow they can connect, probably through like nanotech, those fiber optics, to use that as almost like a video camera or a video screen to project onto. I've never seen anything projected onto a screen or anything like that, but to be used for surveillance. And I started thinking about when we started switching over to LEDs, like what time frame, and then they were going to outlaw regular light bulbs. Sometimes when there are new laws that are changed, and things become available and the old thing isn't available anymore because it's quote not safe, or sometimes there's actually a reason for that other than what you're being told, kind of like a lot of the mainstream narratives and stuff like that. So when she was first telling me about that, I was like, "Come on, you're overreacting a little bit." And but then I thought about it. Different targeted individuals go through different surveillance tactics and different stalking tactics. They individualize it, and she's in California. I'm here in Arizona. California, they're probably doing things way different. California seems to be the worst state for gang stalking, with the directed energy weapons and stuff like that. From what I listen to and read, it just seems to be the worst there, and they just happen to have the most indictments in California. Um, anyway, that's the thing with one of the things with the LEDs that's kind of new information to me. I've been thinking about. Maybe it'd be good for some of you to research. So, again, here we go. White car.
And here comes more LEDs. Red truck.
It was either red or orange. It might have been orange. Let's see. Can I zoom
So
in on
white
that?
car.
I don't think I can zoom in on that. Orange. Is it an orange FJ Cruiser? Or a 4Runner? It looks like an orange FJ Cruiser. So remember the orange headdress, the people in the parking lot with the orange car and the orange shirt, and then at the end of the night, right at the end of the night, I'm filming. Pretty sure that's orange, could be burgundy. But anyway, you see the color patterns here that I'm showing. They do these things in patterns.
White car, red truck, cruising through the neighborhood. Nobody's around right now. And they like to just do this kind of stuff. You know, it's just part of the psyop. To make you feel like you're completely surrounded by these people. They're constantly lurking around. They're always signaling. So just wanted to document that and just kind of show you people you have to show this through repetition. There's no way to just show one video and go, look, there's red and white cars. Today it's all blue cars that are following me around and harassing me. But once you show a pattern, it's pretty much impossible to deny that this is out of the ordinary, that there's a reason why recently, the last couple months, it's been all red and white cars together. For me, if they've changed it, it'd be all kinds of different patterns of similar vehicles and stuff like that. Recently, it's been this white and red. So I don't know what the signaling is, but I definitely am noticing it in a repetitions pattern. Okay, I guess they're done. Everybody have a good night.
All right, and I just want to reiterate that not every single pattern is proof, depending on the way that it is projected. So if there are human beings writing reports and using those reports as showing a pattern, that could be completely false, because they could just put in anything they want. They could pervert it, twist it, like they do everything, and try to show a false pattern, like a scapegoat child in a family. Like a family that uses a scapegoat, they project all of their negativity and all of the wrongdoings that they've done onto that scapegoat. Basically use them as the trash can for their emotional nonsense that they can't deal with, doing the things that they do. So they just transfer all that energy to you and basically punish you for what they're doing. So when I say patterns, these people will create a pattern intentionally on a scapegoat or targeted individual. These patterns that I'm talking about are filmed, documented patterns that I'm explaining perfectly, that anyone can respond to. They're out in the public. They're not hidden only for a certain group of people to see that no one else can see. So when information is hidden, basically to a compartmentalized group about an individual, only those people know that information, and they can twist it, turn it, do whatever they want with it to make themselves feel better for going after you. All right, this video is probably way too long. I apologize for that. Everybody have a great day. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments. Oh yeah, please, I never say this, please like and share my videos. Please subscribe. Go down here to the corner right here, the subscribe button. It should be circling around that. Click on that. I might need some customer service from YouTube, and apparently you need 25,000 subscribers to get customer service. So I'm over 5,000 right now. So if you guys could put this out there so people can subscribe to my channel, I can get some customer service. That'd be awesome. Thank you and have a good day.